Hey, welcome to the Full Octane Garage. Today we're going to have a lot of fun down in the body shop. What we're going to do is we're going to start utilizing our stud welder to extract some dents out of our 1957 GMC project truck. We picked this up from Harbor Freight, so we're going to go ahead and open it up and see what the box contains. It's supposed to contain a stud welder, which works off of 110 volts AC, and also a dent puller, and hopefully a bunch of studs. There are no instructions in this portion anyways. Let's see, probably, haha, okay. So, what we got in the package is a fairly heavy hammered dent puller. It actually has a piece of stud in here right now, which is interesting. I don't know that that's really supposed to be there. We'll work on that in a little bit. Comes with our usual directions. We'll probably look at them today. And it looks like it comes with two different sizes of studs. So this gun is capable of using two different size studs. It has a different size stud tip. So it's got the thicker one for harder dents. It's got the smaller one for probably lighter metal. I think I'm going to have to use the heavy ones because this 1957 GMC truck, the metal is very thick and I don't think it's going to budge easy. So this is the stud welder, and essentially you plug it into the 110 and you crack one of these studs open. I don't know which size stud machine I've got. Let's see if we can fit a large one in. I bet you it's going to be the small. Okay. So what we do here is you insert a stud into the tip of this gun, and when you apply pressure, it has you'll see a sponge action, and that sponge action will make a connection with the car, and so when you push it, it's going to ignite. I am pretty sure that what we need to do is actually push the button when we do it. So they want you to be able to hold both sides of it. You don't want your hands anywhere near this tip because that's going to get very hot, and so you're going to want to make sure that you have bare metal on the car. You push this up against the car, push the button, and ignite it for probably maybe 5 or 10 seconds. You'll see it glowing red. Once it glows red, let off, pull back, and your stud should actually be applied to the car. Of course, now I can't get the stud back out. There we go. Then, while the stud is tied to the car, you'll notice that this stud remover actually has a stud in it right now. But normally what we would do is we would put this device onto the stud. It has a little roller mechanism that catches it. And you start pulling back on the dent and watch it come out. And what we're going to do is place a few different studs around the dents so that you can kind of start pulling around the perimeter and work towards the center. I believe that's the plan of attack I'm going to try. We'll see if it works. Stick with us. Let's get over to the body shop. Okay, this is the dent we're going to try to pull out. We're going to go ahead and start with prepping it. You have to get it down to bare metal for the stud welder to work. We're going to load a stud in our stud welder, and this is spring actuated, so it will not work until you push it in on the spring. It's going to go in the groove, get it cherry red like that. Pretty simple process, just a few seconds to get the stud cherry red. You don't want to get it too hot because the metal behind it will melt and thin out, and when you pull on it, it'll snatch a hole in it. You want to put a few of these in so that you can work back and forth and try to get that dent out. Now we have our dent puller, and I'll tell you, this is the one disappointment in the kit. This has not been working extremely well. I mean, it works decent, but you really got to jockey around with it. Come out some. You have to remember, metal has a memory to it, so it usually will try to go back to where you want it. That's the disappointment about this particular device. You almost have to punch the dent back in to get this thing to loosen up. It's getting close. We could probably pull a little bit more on some of this. You almost want to pull it out just a little more than it needs to, because you can always hammer and dolly it back in. That one did go back in, darn it. That's what happens when you pull a little too hard. Once in a while, one of these studs will break off after you worked it too hard. So I'm going to have to plug weld that little hole. What I found on the rest of these guys is you snip them off. Make sure you have safety glasses on. Then you change up to your sanding disc. And what I'm finding is I've still got some low spots in here, so I can weld some additional studs, pull them out, and we should have a pretty good looking piece when we're all done. Then all you do is skim coat it with a little bit of filler, and after you work the metal, and everything will look just like new.